So for this particular tutorial we are going to talk about how to draw male hairs, and particularly hairs in which directions are different. Like most of the hairs of males are literally straight or vertical and so small in size, as some few peoples in this world have longer hairs and different hairstyles. But what happens is that when the hairs are in a totally different directions, like particular sketch of Vijay Thalapathy that I am taking right now, that I have sketched a month ago, that the direction of hairs are literally in different directions. So let's just start this sketch, and first of all we are going to sharpen our pencils with the artistic way. If you don't know how to sharpen your pencils in an artistic way, you can check out the link in the description, or you can also check out the I button. You can see how to sharpen your pencils in an artistic way. And if you want to buy the tools that I am using for my every sketches, you can check out the link in the description box, and you can buy all the tools that I am using. So first of all, when we start the hairs, first of all see what color of hairs are there. So of course the color of hairs of Vijay Thalapathy is black, so of course we are going to use a charcoal pencils, and charcoal pencils are basically textured pencils. Like you can give texture with graphite pencils, but using charcoal pencil you can upgrade it to a next level for the hairs. I'm talking about hairs. So first of all, if the direction of hairs or anything is totally different, like one box of grid direction of hairs are going upwards, and for the next grid box the direction of hair is going downwards, so of course the direction of hairs is literally in every directions. So for that thing you can focus, or you should focus for a particular box, right? Like if you see details for one box, apply them. Like for particular box 1, if the hair direction is going upwards, just make them. For the next box, if direction is going literally straight, just make them. But what happens is that when you will use a direct method or different type of method except grade method, you can not go for direction. Like if the hairs are 2 centimeter in direction, like starting from center and going upward and then downwards, this is the direction of hairs I am taking as an example. But if you are going directly, the hairs may be possible that if you are a beginner or intermediate artist, that measurement will be a little bit less or a little bit more. So for that thing, always use a grid method. Use a hard charcoal pencil as the base layer. Make hairs first. See the direction of hairs. Make every hair possible. I know that there are million of hairs on your head, but what makes a sketch or a drawing more realistic and hyper realistic, that how much details you apply. So there are millions of hairs, and it is not necessary to make every million hairs, but make as hairs as possible. So using hard charcoal pencil, make as hairs as possible, but while making those hairs, just keep on going. Like have patience while making hairs, because it is so much of time consuming thing, and if you will lose patience, you will just rub your pencils in every single direction. If you will lose patience and your sketch won't look good. So for the base layer, use hard charcoal pencil, and then use a makeup brush to blend them. But while blending the hairs, you should focus that while blending hairs with makeup brush, your makeup brush direction should be on the direction of hairs. Like if hairs are going upwards, your makeup brush direction should be upwards. If downwards, then downwards. Don't just go for a horizontal thing or horizontal blending if the hairs are going upwards. So these are the differences. Then again, use a mono eraser to create highlights. Then for the first layer, use medium charcoal pencil on the only parts which are a little bit more darker. Like if you can focus on the center part of the hairs of Vijay Thalapathy, there are hairs which are a little bit more darker, right? So for that thing, use a medium charcoal pencil. Again, blend it using your makeup brush or paint brush, whatever you have. Then again, use a mono eraser, or you can also use the pen, but I will recommend that use mono eraser. It is the best thing. But don't use mono eraser in every single parts, because mono eraser will give you highlights, but if you will just apply pressure or a little bit more, if you will apply a little bit more on the mono eraser, it will look completely flat and your sketch is ruined. So for that thing, use mono eraser wisely. And then finally use soft charcoal pencil for the parts, like if you can focus on the left hand side part of the hairs which are a little bit more darker, so for those parts use soft charcoal pencil. And don't ever lose patience, just make pencil strokes with hairs, like hairs. So this was the complete tutorial for how to draw hairs. If you have any questions, you can comment down below. I will see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye. So that was all for this tutorial. If you learned something from this video, subscribe and drop a like. Comment down your question and queries regarding this tutorial. Meanwhile, take care of your loved ones too. Have an artistic day. Tattoos.